Today, I'm block printing with makercrate. Some assembly required. Hello. So it sounds like we are printing on a backpack. Let's find out what's in here. Interesting. Not my color scheme, as you may know, but that's cool, like a little block printing pattern. In here, we have our sort of inspiration-y guide, our instruction QR code. We've got some pretty pictures, some examples of all the cool stuff you can make. Kiwis are cool. And some history. Very cool. Alrighty, keep that handy so that I can figure out what we're doing. Next, our little backpack. Feels like there's a little cardboard in there so that we can print on it without it going straight through. That's clever. Okay, carving tools. Carving tools, 1, 2, 3. Looks like we've got sort of a little U-shaped one, medium-sized V-shaped one, and a bigger U-shaped one. I'm going to put these in here so I don't stab myself. Ooh, that's not what they're supposed to look like. Maybe that will go away when we shake them. It's not that cold down here. Can it go bad? Maybe? Okay, so we've got paint in black, mustard, sage, maroon, and lilac. Very makercrate color palette. I feel like we can work with that. Give those guys a little shake later. This appears to be a little zippy pouch. I guess you could make it match, or you could practice on it, or just extra. Tracing paper, a little charcoal on one side. Templates. Let's see what we have to offer. So, some little triangles and circles. Okay, that could be cool for like a repeating pattern. Little rectangles in a pattern. Got the little circles. So you could make a circle, you could make two halves of a circle, you could make the little like petals kind of. And here's another sort of multi-use one. You can use the plus or the flower or the boat steering wheel. Or, you know, you could use the whole rainbow or use it as an arch. And then the little dot, same thing. So that's interesting. They're giving us a whole bunch of different things we can sort of mix and match, pick and choose, and okay. Maybe we can make our own on here, or maybe we can also practice printing them on here. So some paper. Brayer tool. This is going to be hard to open. I have a new respect for cardboard boxes. I got quite a cardboard cut on my finger the other day, so now I'm very careful. I do not want another. A little rolling tool for inks and paints. And this is, I think, what we're putting our paint on so that we can coat our brayer. Oh, all right. This must be little sample sheets. Looks like the same size as the backpack, so you can kind of plan out what you're gonna make. Plan your pattern, see how it fits. And we have 1, 2 very dense rubber blocks. So this is what we're going to cut with our tools to make our little stamp. Awesome! So first, and I think this will be important, I'm gonna see what we're doing. I'll check out the little instructions and I'll be back. Interesting. So they showed you how to convert the convertible backpack into 3 different bags, which I do think is exciting. So first we've got the shoulder bag. Yes. Then, with the little snappies back here, we have a tote bag. And then apparently, We like our backpacks to be really, really strappy. We have a little backpack. Okay, I mean, that's cute. So I will put this over here for inspiration. And let's see if I can remember the instructions. It sounds like first you plan your project. Basically, you figure out what kind of shapes that you want to make. Second, you actually carve them out from your little rubber stampy printy block. Then you figure out about the applying of the paint, make some sample ones so that you can cut more if you need to. Like if the edges, they call it chatter, which I just learned. If the edges still make little lines and you don't like that, you can cut them off. Then it's time to print the bag. So, okay. I mean, that's pretty fun. So first, here's what I'm thinking that I want to make. You know, if you've been here for more than like one maker crate, I have a hard time picking from all the cool ideas that they give you. They give me way too many ideas. I'm like, yeah, triangles, oh, circles, oh, squares. So I think I might try to make sort of half circle monsters in kind of a pattern, and then maybe have one be a different color. Maybe. I think the monsters will probably end up on the backpack, and then everybody else will be somewhere else. Maybe on the little zippy pouch. I think I might have more zippy pouches, so I might be able to put all kinds of weird stuff on all kinds of things today. So the little half round monsters, which I think will be kind of cool because it will give me a chance to do like the monster will be one color, and then maybe I can separately ink the eyes. I don't know. Will it work? I do not have any idea. Maybe. In the video, they showed this cute little mountain, and I thought the mountain would be a cool place to show that you can kind of combine paints. So you can have half of it be maybe the dark red, and then half be the lavender, and it kind of mixes in the middle, like kind of a little bit of an ombre effect, and then you put it on the mountain. I think that would be really cool. I'm gonna try it. I might not like how it turns out. And finally, the kiwi from the little booklet is really cool, and I'm gonna have to try it. I don't know how it will look, but we'll find out together. So, first things first, I'm going to draw all of those things in sizes that make sense for our little blocks. Then, I guess we'll carve them. So I drew my little guys. I'll hold them this way so you can see them. I've got my little monster. So he's gonna be 2 little blocks. And I've got my mountain. Then I put my kiwi and kiwi seeds on 2 separate pieces. I think it will be hard to line them up, but I'm willing to give it a try. I mean, you never know until you try. Now, keeping in mind, when you're drawing these things, they will be backwards when you print them. So I flipped my mountain in my head, and then if you want to see if it kind of looks good, you can just flip it over and then say, I guess. The next thing that we need to do is transfer these guys onto these guys. These are heavier than I think every time I pick them up. All right, they don't have a particular side that you need to use. They're the same. Now, what I think that I will do with this one is I'm gonna line up the bottom of the image with the bottom of my block, because then I can line up the eye block on the bottom of the monster and then have the eyes go in the right place. I also tried to put the eyes kind of in the middle so that if they're a little bit this way or a little bit that way, it'll be fine. We'll see if it actually is. So what I'm going to do is transfer my monster right on here. I have my little transfer paper, and there is a darker side and a lighter side. The darker side points down because that's the side that the little charcoaly graphite-y stuff is on. I'll just line it up, and using my pencil, I'll trace around. I'm going to try to trace hard enough so that it actually transfers. What? That doesn't do anything. That didn't do anything. What? That's hard to see. I can cut, there's the faintest, you're not going to be able to see anything. Yeah, that's what it looks like. There's the faintest little amount of mark, and I'm just going to have to trace that, I guess. That's going to make complicated things like my kiwi just a tiny bit harder. I don't know. Okay, I mean, that's going to give it a little extra challenge. It's a start. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to try to transfer everybody else to all the different blocks. Wish me luck, because I think I'm going to need it for the kiwi. They did mention in the video that when you transfer, it would be a little bit light. This is not a little bit light, this is just one shade darker than completely invisible. So maybe I wouldn't do a very complicated design, because I mean, I basically just had to draw the mountain. There was nothing there. I'm pretty sure that the monster eyes are in the right place, but I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out. The next step is, you can kind of trace around to give yourself an idea of how much you actually have to cut out. And then you just start carving. Hopefully that part will work very well. Very super beautifully. I think that it will. I think I have high hopes. So I'll put these guys over here for inspiration so I can remember what they looked like once. And then we'll get out our carving tools. Some things to remember when you're carving. 1, your other hand should be totally, completely, utterly out of the way, because this is better not coming into contact with this. And then the other one is basically just always carve away from you. Don't carve too deep. That's really all you can do. You just have to go sort of gently, and you can't put it back. So be careful, I guess, is what I'm saying to myself. I don't want to start. The little V-shaped one is great for outlines. So I'm going to start on my very most basic shape, which I guess is my mountain. And I'll just start outlining that guy. It's not as sharp as I thought it was. Come on, you can do it. What? Okay, there we go. Okay, that's one. It's kind of not as smooth as I would have thought. Yeah, maybe I'm going too deep. Try very lightly. Yay! Okay, so this is going to take a minute. So I will do it top down, and you can see how it goes. Okay, so I'm not finished with the mountain yet, but I wanted to show you. I've tried each of the carving tools. The pointy one, V-shaped, that's supposed to be great for outlines and details. I'm not doing it right, or it's not very sharp. I'm not sure. It definitely cuts way more jagged on those parts. See how it looks all torn up? I don't think it's supposed to be like that. So I'll just keep trying, because I feel like I'm going to need it for some of the other ones. So hopefully I figure it out, and I'm going to keep on carving until everything is all carved and ready to test. I'm going to have to bust out the X-Acto for this little kiwi starburst, because the V-shaped cutter is not doing anything.
Not elegant, but it worked.
Hey! I have carved all of my blocks and cut them out, which is harder than you'd think because they're really quite thick to cut with scissors. But hopefully I did it properly. There is only one way to find out, and that involves inking them and printing them. We'll pick out one paint. I think that I'll pick out a color that I'm definitely not going to use. And can you guess which color that is? It's mustard. Oh, but the problem with mustard is it's not going to show up. I'll do sage then. So I'll give that a little shake. Not looking promising. Okay, it's like half full. And there's no foil on top of it. That's weird. Usually makercrate does a much better job with their paints. Not super impressive. It's not full. So what I will do, and I'll show you top down while I do it, is I'm going to squeeze some of my paint right onto this surface here. I will put it on my brayer, and they recommend sort of going just one direction. And then I'll just go right over my little guys and try to print them. Hopefully the green is dark enough so that I can see, and then I'll know what I have to fix. I'm sure it will be something. So, let's see how it goes. It's not covering. It's not getting on here at all. Why? I don't know. Maybe we can still make it work. Okay, the kiwi is not great. That could be because there was a little too much ink on there, paint rather. But the mountain looks like a mountain, and the monster is pretty cool. So, 2 out of 3, and I'm not dismissing the kiwi yet, but it's not great. It's not amazing. Next step is to wash all of this off, give these guys a little wash, then clean up anything that has paint on it because that clearly got painted. Take those down a smidge. Then we can probably start printing. Well, there are my little samples. I feel like they turned out okay. There's a little bit of chatter on the edges where some extra paint got on there, but that is fine. So I have carved down my blocks so that there shouldn't be any overflow of the paint. We'll see. I think that we're ready to print on fabric, so that'll be the next step. Basically, it is exactly the same as printing on paper, but maybe you press a little bit harder. So that's what we'll do. I think maybe I'll start with the mountain to try the 2-color one first, because of course I am. I wonder if the fact that the brayer doesn't actually get covered is going to be a problem, but we'll find that out. I don't know why that doesn't work. Maybe it was just a first time use thing. Yes, we'll see. There's the plan. Let's get started. That's actually really pretty. I'm kind of surprised. Maybe I could have put a little more ink on, but I was a little worried that too much ink would be a blobby mess. So it just looks kind of, it looks a little vintage. So that was on purpose. I don't know what you're talking about, but that's pretty cool. Okay, so for my next ones, maybe I will try to put a little bit more paint on. It doesn't really go on that well, so I'll do my best. But okay, let's rapid fire through these guys. See how they come out. I'm not trying to be completely insane about how these are spaced because I don't think that in the end it matters, but I feel like if I put tape down for where they're supposed to be, putting in the eyes later will be a little bit easier. I do appreciate when I try to make my life easier. I mean, it doesn't always work, but at least I try. And now I'm going to just let these guys dry a little bit before I go in with all the black printing, because I don't want everything to smudge and be extra gross. So I'm going to try to let them dry at least a little bit. We'll see how impatient I get. Ta-da! I think everything came out really cute. The black paint did have a lot of chunks in it, and maybe that's because none of them were sealed with foil. None of the paint. So, but the paint was thicker than your standard like craft store paint. So in that sense, it was definitely handy. I was able to pick out the chunks so I could actually print with the black, but if you have thick paint without chunks, that will probably work better. Not everything is probably 100% dry yet. When it is, I'm going to go over it with an iron to heat set it so that it will be nice and durable. Not that I'm going to ever let anything happen to it. But here is what we look like so far. We've got the cute little mountain. We've got our kiwis. It's not really the color that I wanted, but it kind of looks like a kiwi color. So accidentally, yay, it turned out. And then here are my little monster guys, which I think is really, really cute. The tape really worked on these guys because I had the little blocks set up so that they would line up with each other. So if I tape the first one, then the second one should line up. So if you are doing a 2-color print, it worked for me. With the tape, I think that made it a lot easier to really line up the second thing. Did these go perfectly? No. No, of course they didn't. But were they really fun? Yes. Am I going to start a print shop anytime soon? Well, no, probably not. I don't think anybody needs that in their lives. But having this as an ability of something you can do if you wanted to print a t-shirt or like a bag or something like that. I mean, it's not that hard and it's kind of a high impact. It looks pretty cool. So, I'm a fan. It was irritating, but I still like how it turned out. I hope that you enjoyed watching me figure this out. I have a whole bunch of makercrate videos. I will link the playlist up there. If you liked this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you like this kind of video and you're not subscribed yet, you can do that right underneath the video box and click the all notification bell so you don't miss anything. I do have a few maker crates still left over that I'm going to trot out at some point. I've told myself that I need to finish the ones that I have before I can take myself off the little maker crate break that I was on because I was so backed up. But if you do like those, make sure that you're subscribed because they're coming. New videos come out every Saturday, so stay tuned for the next one. Who knows what it's going to be, but hopefully it will be great. Until the next one, be awesome, and I'll see you then.